It began with the forging of the Great Rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. And 9 rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power. The Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a Master Ring to control all others. 1 ring to rule them all.
All right, welcome. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It looks like my mic is doing all right. I think it is. I see the levels bouncing, so I'm pretty sure it's working. Anyways, let me know in the chat if it is not working or not. Yeah, intro. So I did borrow that intro. That is from 3D Print General. It was on one of his videos, probably, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, I think. But it was suiting. I needed to borrow that because we did talk about the Bamboo Carbon X1 last week a little bit. I think it was either last week or the week before. We did kind of a comparison of that printer against the Prusas and against the Crealities. Because that is a Kickstarter, I'd still just, be leery of that if you end up wanting that printer. Cool, mic sounds good, great, thank you. But I do, after doing a little bit more research on that printer, I definitely want it. It looks amazing. You should see how fast that thing can print. The technology that's going to bring to this game is game changing. It really is. I don't think any longer, I think it's going to, Prusa and Creality have to step up their game with that printer coming out. So the only thing I don't really care for is the proprietary nozzle and hot end. I'm dealing with that anyways right now with E3D, and it doesn't really bother me. So, I don't know that I would back the Kickstarter though, because it's on Kickstarter for probably till the end of June, I think, is when the Kickstarter campaign ends. They said they already have the product to ship it. At this point though, the amount of discount that you would get if you got it through Kickstarter is only $200 off the, Nick, how we doing? Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Again, I borrowed that one. So, yeah, thank you though. I do find some golden nuggets out there. So the discount that you would get right now on Kickstarter is only $200 off the retail price. And Kickstarter, you've no guarantee of getting your product. I ordered, I don't know if you guys ever saw the Coolest Cooler, but it was like a cooler that had a radio and a blender and all these things. Anyways, I backed that, lost my money, never got the product, and never got my money back. And I saw it for sale in Walmart a couple times, and then they closed up shop. So they had a lot of tooling issues. Anyways, this isn't about that. I would wait till July to get that printer. It's going to retail, I think, for $13.99 or $14.99 with that multi-filament setup kind of thing up there. Anyways, if you have the $1,200 to get it through Kickstarter, you probably have the $1,400 to wait just to kind of make sure. So, yeah, if I win the lottery, that would be the printer that I think I'm going to try to buy next. Maybe sell the Prusa. I don't know. I got to kind of see how these next couple months kind of play out. And that'll give that printer enough time on the market to see what it actually is doing, and if the development team is able to kind of fix some of the issues that's going on the software side. I don't really see any hardware issues with that. It's phenomenal. Again, a lot of those developers are from DJI, and they make great products. So I don't doubt any of the hardware stuff. It's the software stuff, because it's also a custom slicer. You can use Prusa or Cura, but it is, Sprink, how you doing? It is a custom slicer that they are using. So, yeah, let's see a couple things here. Boom. I know you guys are already all part of the forum, but if we have anyone here that is not, this is where you can join us right here on 2aallday.com. Shit. And there we go. I think that should still work. And so that's where you can find us. That's where we kind of hang out. If you got any questions, that's where all the giveaways are, and all of that. So also another place you could find us is we do I did create a Discord server over there, so we can chat 24/7 if you have any questions over there. Our Discord server name, if you just search when you're in Discord for TAD, so that's our initials, 2A all day, so TAAD, you'll find us on the Discord. So I don't know, I just launched that last week. I don't think that anyone has joined that yet, so I'm kind of talking to myself, posting some memes to myself to make myself laugh. So and don't make me look crazy, guys. Someone please go over there and post a meme or something. Let me know what you're thinking. So also, just getting some quick housekeeping out of the way, and then later on tonight we will do, way later tonight, we're going to do the giveaway of the $50 off of the new Creality. I do have that discount code or the coupon code. So as soon as tonight's over, if you message me anywhere, shoot me your email and I'll shoot you over that code tonight. So that way you can get in on the sale. So where were we? Oh yeah, a couple house cleaning things. We have launched over on the forum. Again, when I refer to the forum, I'm talking about the 2A forum, not any other forum. So, but check out the store. We do have a store launched over there. Oh yeah, that's strange. I will try to I'll try to find a link here in a little bit and post that in for Discord. I appreciate that. But we do also, we did launch our store. So if you ever want to see, again, you know, what I'm printing with, the parts that I recommend for printing, you know, the printers that I would recommend, anything like that, that is launched. So some of those are affiliate links. You know, you guys know the game. No extra charge to you. It just helps us out. Also, Shooter Lube. We do have special discounts for only us and our forum, both only for VIPs and another discount for other people. So if you need any cleaning stuff, go to Shooter Lube. Best stuff on the market. Working with a couple other people, seeing if we can get some other special discounts here. Got some things in the works. So, and another thing, I don't have one yet. I think I should have it next week, but also launched kind of some apparel stuff. So we have a couple shirts out there. I have 2 different designs right now. So we got some shirts and then also custom gun stands. And then if you want a custom gun stand, I haven't put the option up there yet, but there will be an option for you to get your own custom gun stand with your own design on it, or your name, or you know, whatever color you want, something like that, just like a custom one, so you can have something to show off all of your freedom, because that's what we're here for. We're here for freedom and showing it off and getting other people, you know, to be just as crazy as we are, or at least not to think we're as crazy as we are. So yeah, so check out our store, and then like I said, tonight we'll do the raffle for the VIPs. That was a VIP one. And I guess also don't forget, we still have those other raffles too. So we have all of those parts, the cool slides and all that stuff. Get in on that, guys. That's some good stuff. Maybe I'll pop a CL up there. I don't know. Do you guys know if there's any CLs still left at Rook? Last time I checked, there was, but that was a couple days ago. I know they sent out an email saying that there were a couple extra CLs. I don't know. I haven't talked to them, so I don't know if they're going to do another drop or not. It looks like someone did talk to them, and I think they're going to hold on to their Cobalt frames. That's what I was kind of hanging out for. But I do have a OD green one, and then I also did get the FDE one. So I have one of each color. Maybe before this ban goes into place, we'll give one away. I don't know. Maybe if we can get like 1 or 2 more VIPs, then I could justify kind of getting that out, giving everybody a chance. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. So tonight. Last week, we touched on kind of the printers. And before that, we did touch on some slicer settings. But now I kind of want to do maybe a little 2 or 3 part series on Fusion 360 and how to customize some of these files, or some freedom. You know, you're out there printing other people's files. Why not customize it and make it your own? Plus, do I have, I don't think I have any of my custom stuff. Actually, you know what? In this box, I do. Not any of my good custom stuff, but a couple of my old ones. For example, I think my very, very first one I ever did. This might have actually even been Tinkercad. It might not have been Fusion. I think it was Tinkercad. But, so I did the Mac Daddy. So this was the Mac Daddy lower. It's since been taken apart because I built a better one. But I put on there boom, it says Mac Daddy. So that wasn't originally on there. I added that. And then also I made a little logo. It says G Star, and it's made of the stars and stripes. So anyways, other than that, I don't have... You guys have seen my other custom builds, though. You've seen the bandit slide. You saw last week a little bit of two of my other builds that I'm working on. One with the skulls, and then the other one. I'll set that there. All right, so without further ado, let's kind of jump into Fusion 360 a little bit. Again, this is kind of going to be just like a bird's eye view of Fusion 360. We will get in there, load a file, do a design really quick, but I'm not going to go into super detail on a lot of other things. This is definitely a feature rich software, so definitely download it. You can get the free version over at Autodesk, but let's pop into Fusion. Let me see if I can get that kind of loaded up. And then after this, we'll do the giveaway. So hang in there. I think we'll kind of do this maybe for like 20 minutes or so. Try to make it real quick and get in and out of here. Hold on one sec. Okay, so we've opened up Fusion 360 or downloaded it from the internet. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to, I believe it's Autodesk. You're going to download Fusion 360, and I'm using the personal version. There is a paid subscription version, but for what we're going to use it for today, we don't need that. So we only need the personal version. That has plenty of tools in it, and especially for beginners, that's all you need. So you've downloaded that, you've opened it up, and this is what you see. You got to create an account, sign in, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, once you get past all the normal stuff, this is what you're going to see. It looks pretty similar to like a normal 3D printer slicer. So Cura or Prusa, any of those. The first thing you're going to notice is this they call it the plane. So in Cura or Prusa, it would be like the build plate, but this is the plane surface. And this is where your design is going to live. And what this does is this helps the program determine kind of where this piece is at, or where this figure or line or mesh is at within the realm of 3D space. And so this cube over here, very similar to the slicers, it lets you kind of rotate to get different angles. So we'll see that kind of a little bit better once we kind of get something in here on it. So now you're going to ask yourself, okay, well, we're here, so now what do we do? So let's upload a file. Let's, you've gotten your file from the internet too. So I'm assuming that you've downloaded either like an FMDA, the DD 17.2 or 19.2, or the PY2A, any of their frames. So we're going to open one up, and you can see I have a lot of remixes that I've done or that I'm working on or am doing. Let's just open a random one up, and I'll get it back to 0 really quick once it does load up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take off. So this is kind of how I custom designed my bandit slide. I think I don't have the video for that yet. Nope, the video is going to be dropping for that very soon. So I uploaded the time lapse for this video, but now I have the complete build. So that video will be coming out hopefully within the next week or so. So really quickly, let me just kind of get this all to 0. And then we will go from there. Oh, you know what? Scratch this. It won't let me do what I want to do with this design. So we will really just start from scratch. So I designed this one when I was first kind of getting into designing, and I made it more difficult than what it needed to be, but it was a learning curve. So what we'll do is we'll just actually open one up from my file. So let's get into, oh, is it really not going to let me? Okay. Let's get into, we could do a 1911 script. We'll just do the FMDA. So again, oops, I almost selected the wrong one. When you download the pack, you want to definitely make sure that you're looking for the step files, so the STP files. And let's go with the frame right here. So let's open that one up. Cool, and so what this is going to do, it's going to give us kind of a blank canvas frame to start on. And it looks like I broke Autodesk. It'll fix itself here in a second. My computer's just not super powerful to handle streaming and Autodesk Fusion 360 at the same time. So give it a second. This is going to load right on up, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, here we go. Cool. So this is what the frame kind of looks like, and this is what it looks like in 3D space as well. So you can move it around however you want to do things, and you can use this thing over here to kind of see the angle, the internals. You can kind of see how it's split. So it's on the plane, half of it is above the plane and half of it's in the middle of the plane. You can change that if you want. It doesn't really matter. So this is what you see. Oh, and as you hover over it, look at what you see. You see all these different highlighted things. So this is going to look kind of intimidating to the new person. With Fusion, I think the easiest way to kind of understand this is just kind of black everything out. So everything up here on the top toolbar, don't worry about that. Act like it's not even there. We're pretty much going to live in this section right over here. We're going to live under the solid tab. There are other tabs here, so you could fix other things or change other things, but we're not going to live in that. We're going to live in the solid tab, and then we're also going to make sure that over here we're in the design section. So as long as you're in the design section, living within the solid tab, that's where we want to start. That's perfect. So from here, what I want you to understand about Fusion 360. So everything starts with a sketch. So a sketch is essentially saying, hey, this is where I want to start my design, and this is essentially an outline or design, a 2D representation of the design that I want, where I want it. So sketches are going to be your best friend. So let's start with a sketch. And how do we do that? So right here, it says create sketch. Also, before we do this, so a sketch is going to be your best friend, and we're only going to use a couple features. So this will be part one of a series, and next week we'll dive a little bit deeper in here. But so for part one, what I want you to learn or know is sketch. Yes, sketch is good. Another feature we're going to use is called the extrude feature. So just like a 3D printer, how it extrudes the filament out to make a 3D object. Well, here is where we tell that object to become 3D. So we extrude it from 2D to 3D. And if you've messed around in Tinkercad, which is another program similar to Fusion 360, just very more entry level and basic, then you'll understand the extrude feature. We'll touch on that too here in a second. So we're going to live with the sketches, the extrude feature, and whenever we do a sketch, when you finish the sketch, it's going to ask you to do a couple things. You can either, and we'll touch on this. This is just kind of an overview of what we're going to learn today. It'll ask you, hey, do you want this new design that you made? Do you want it to become part of the project? Do you want it to join this project that you have? So essentially, this frame. So this new design that you make, do you want it to join this frame and become one with the frame? So I'm going to say no on that. That is, for example, what you just saw on the bandit slide. I did that with all of my designs on there. And now because they're part of that slide, or part of the frame, I'm sorry, it's very hard to go back and change a feature or edit a feature or, make it a little different. What you want to do is you're going to want to select new component, and I'll show you. We'll go over all this. It's super easy. It's just a drop down menu, but the workflow that we're going to go through is upload a file, create a sketch, make a sketch, so do your sketch or your draw or your design, and then extrude it. And that's how we're gonna create this. So let's do that. Let's create a sketch. Cool, so you hit the button and now these crazy things come up. Oh no, what's happening? What's going on here? Well, what this is saying is, okay, well, what plane in the three-dimensional world, what axis do you want to create your sketch? So do you want it on the x-axis or the y or the z or just randomly off in space? for what we're going to do, the easiest thing to do is, let's say you want to do a stipple or a grip texture or a logo, or you want to put your name right over here on the handle. So see how it highlights this area? That is saying, hey, let's make this sketch or this design on this plane right here, level with it. So that way you don't have to move it. So if I were to create a sketch over here, I would have to then line it up, and it's just not accurate at all to do it that way. There are other features. It's more advanced to do it that way, and we can touch on it later. The easiest version, or the way to do it, so if we're putting our name on the side of this, is to click Create Sketch, and then click on the part of the piece of freedom that you want to put your name on. So I'm going to simply click on it. Boom, and it highlights it. Whoa, what's going on here? It created a sketch. It changed that whole top ribbon. Look at that. And so, again, we're not going to worry about any of these red things over here or any of this. Don't worry about that. What we're going to live within is, right now, is just the line tool. The line tool is all we need. We'll touch on the offset tools, another very helpful one, a little later. But for now, let's just live within the line tool and this area right over here. So whatever's blue, that's where we're going to stay. So cool. So we've created a sketch. It's on this plane, and if you want to see that it's on the plane, I guess we have to put the design down first. So we want to put our name here. How do we do that? So how do we even find the features that we're looking for? Check this out. This is the best shortcut that I've ever learned that helped me grasp the concept of all of this and really make things work for me. So the best thing to do is use keyboard shortcuts. So to do this, what we're going to do, hit the S button. So if you hit the S key, it is going to bring up a search window. So we hit the S key and boom, search window. So what are we looking for here? Well, I want to write my name on here, so I want to put a text on this handle, on this pistol. So if I want a text, let's search for text. T-E-X. Look at that, and it comes up right there. Text. Perfect. Yes, that's exactly what I want. And so now we can draw a text box. And I want my name to go sideways up here, but it's not going to start out that way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a dimension. So I think my box will probably be, let's make it about that big. And so we'll click, and boom, sample text. Oh, whoa, look at this. Sample text over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this window over here, and this is where we're going to edit things. So if I want to put my name on here, I can just say, my name is Sean, and it's your typical text feature stuff. So let's say I want it centered, and I want it centered. So then what we're going to do is we are going to use this feature here, and we're just going to rotate it a little bit. Like so. Cool. So that looks like it's going pretty good, and I like it. So we're going to say okay there, and we're going to say okay here. We're going to say finish sketch. So that's good. So we got our name somewhere typed in. It doesn't have to be on the pistol. You could have done it way over here off on the side. It doesn't matter because it is on the same plane. So now if you look, when I go to move it, you can see my name is on the plane, on that handle right where I need it. So let's say though, you don't want your name right there. Let's say you want it more in the middle. What we can do is we go over to our file system over here. So don't worry about any of these top ones. Only thing you're going to worry about for now are sketches. So this is sketch 1, and you can rename it if you want to. I mean, if you want to, just to stay organized, what we can do is, where's the rename? All right, am I missing it? You can just rename it. So I'll just say it's my name. Some of these sketches, and I'll have to show you some of them, but you'll have 50, 60 sketches for if you want to design a lot of little things. So we named our sketch. You don't have to. I just did it so you can see that. But what we want to do here is we want to click move, because that's what we want to do. So you're going to right click on that sketch, and now you're going to click move. Once this comes up, now you can move it wherever you want. Don't worry about it moving on the plane. It's locked in on that plane where it's at. So I just want to move it over just a smidge. And so what happens is it kind of locks, or it clicks into place, And if I can't get it right in the middle where I want it, which I can't, I'm just going to scroll in a little bit. And that's going to make those locked zones become smaller. And now I can get it closer to where I want it. So I'll even go a little bit closer. Yeah, that's actually pretty darn good. So let's, come on, grab the arrow, and I'll just move it right there. Okay, perfect. Also, if you didn't want to use these arrows up here, so how to use the arrows, you just click on them, you hold it, and you drag it. If you didn't want to use those arrows, you can just type in the distance here. So I know it's 14 millimeters, but let's say I wanted to move it 10. Well, you just take out 14, you type in 10, and it moves 10. You could also go like -5 if you wanted it to go below where it originally started, because it originally started here. So if you wanted it to go down more, you'd have to type in a negative number. So -5 would bring it down. I don't want it there. I want it to go the opposite way. So I know I want it at 14 millimeters because I dragged the arrows and that's what it showed me. So putting it right back at 14 millimeters, we're done there. We're going to hit OK. So now we have our name on our grip. We have a custom FMDA DD 17.2. Look at that. We're not done yet. So really quickly, if you have your name there, see it's on the plane? So now we're going to get into that extrude feature. So if you scroll in, see how it's it highlighted all of that? You want to make sure whatever you want to extrude at this point in time is highlighted that blue color. So for text, it's going to highlight all the text that you typed out if you use the text feature. If you use a different feature, say you're importing a design, which we'll cover later or in another video because we're already pushing 15 minutes, but if you do a design, that is going to be a lot more complicated and in-depth. So I am creating a beginner's guide to 3D printing. To 3D printing, so it's going to cover everything. It's going to cover how to get your files, where to get your files, what to do with your files. It's going to be an in-depth, there's going to be in-depth chapters of it on Fusion 360, how to do more complex designs. And so that's where I'm kind of going to touch on that. But this is just to kind of get you started, get your feet wet, so that way this isn't as intimidating. You can take these principles here that I'm showing you now to do this, and you can do a ton of things. This is where I started with this. So anyways, this is very simple. Not highlighted, highlighted. You want to make sure they're blue. So you're going to click on it. Then you can do one of two things. Remember, I told you search, that S key is going to be your best friend. If you forget to do search, live within these bars up here. So what we want to do is, hey, the one next to sketch, it's almost like a work process, a work path here. So you build a sketch, what do you want to do next? Oh, you want to extrude it. So you can click here to extrude, which just means make a 2D thing, a two-dimensional object, three-dimensional, or you could use the search feature. So you could hit the S key and you could start to type in extrude and it's right there. So you could also do that and it'll come up. Or another thing you could do is these have, so some of the main features have hotkeys. And if you know that you're going to extrude something, you can simply just hit the E key and it'll also bring up extrude. So it's a hotkey for extrude because it's so commonly used here. So I just hit the E key. Again, there's 3 ways to get here. Get here any way that you're comfortable getting. Extrude is where you want to be. So now what this does is this says, hey, okay, cool. So you want to extrude and we want you to select what you want to extrude. So again, make sure it's selected. And then this little dialog box pops up. How many millimeters do you want to extrude this up or cut into the frame and go down? So we can do 2 things from here. If we want to extrude it out to make it more grippy, we'll put a positive number. If you want to cut into the frame to make it more flush, you'll use a negative number, and that will cut into the frame. So here, I guess I can show you both. So let's say we want to cut into the frame. So I would just say -1.5. Whoops, that's a lot. It won't work for 105. 1.5. And now it's going to change over here. The operation automatically changed to cut because it's a negative number. And if I show you sideways, let me grip it right. you can see that it's actually cutting down into that frame. It's red, so that means it's cutting. I don't want to cut. I want it to be out, because let's say I want to paint it. So I want it to come out. I want it to extrude. So here, we're just going to say, let's have it extrude 2.5 millimeters. And you'll figure out, you know, what works best for you as far as distance, what's comfortable in your hand. Everything's based off of, this is how you customize it. So whatever feels best for you. 2.5, which is a lot. 2.5 is going to be a thick thing. You'll definitely feel it in the palm of your hand that's there with 2.5 millimeters coming off. Again, this is just an example. So over here, so you typed in your 2.5, you can see out here, boom, your distance, same thing, 2.5. So it just took that number over here and put it over here. So you can enter it in either section. Don't worry about the degree. Here, this is where it will either make or break your design. This will cause you so many headaches. Join. If you hit join now, your name, that design is going to become part of the other design. It will join the two together, so they're whole. They're one in itself. So if you were to do that and you wanted to re-edit your design, your custom part of the design, it's going to be a lot harder. What you want to do, what I recommend doing is making this a new component. So what that essentially is saying is, hey, this is joined to this design, but it's not the design. It's just a component of the main design, of the whole design. It's just part of it. That's all it's saying. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it, when you hit OK, that is now going to, A, make it a different color so you can see it and it's going to stand out. But B, that is going to allow you to edit and to change just that design. So for example, let's go back to our filing system and look and see what that did. So we have our sketch, and you can turn your sketches on or off. So if you want to see your sketch, you can turn it on or turn it off. And that's just your two-dimensional representation of your extrude now. So, you know, I don't need the sketch anymore, so I turn it off because I can actually see that the sketch, the two-dimensional object, has now become three-dimensional. It now has created a component because we extruded our two-dimensional object into 3D and we made it a component of our huge project. So within that component, so the component now is your name. Whatever that design was, whatever objects you had selected for that extrude is going to become its own component. And everything's going to live about that component within the component folder. So what we did there, again, you don't really need to worry about origin or bodies. I don't mess with any of that. But the extrude. And that's just simply saying we extruded there and we turned it into a three-dimensional object. You can see now that it is coming off of that frame and we have successfully put our name on the frame. So we're wrapping up. We're hitting 21 minutes right now. I think that will wrap it up for this episode, this version. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyways, this part in the series for learning Fusion 360. Next time, I guess we'll kind of pick up where we left off, and we will keep working on this little grip section. So tune in again next week, and we'll build upon this, and we'll kind of make it pretty cool. Let me know in the comments what you think we should do to this frame. Maybe we'll make a custom frame together, and then we can print it up, and we'll look at the final product. So if you have a 3D printer at home and you kind of want to do this step by step, we can do it together. And okay, cool. So I guess I'll just save this really quick. Yeah, you can tell I have a lot of documents in here. My editable documents. I gotta make some of my stuff not editable. You know what? I'll do that later off screen. I gotta figure that out. So anyways, that is Fusion 360, and I hope you guys learned a lot. Let me know if you guys have any questions about it. I'm going to take a look at the chat now just to see if I need to go back and kind of answer anything. But just to review, again, how we got here was we downloaded Fusion 360. We used the personal version. We imported the step file, so the STP file. I thought it was STEP, but to me it looked like it was STP file. So that's the step file because that's what's easily editable. Once that was in here, we then created the sketch, which also added it over here to our filing system. So we created the sketch. Remember that? We typed in our name here, and we did it on the plane of the part that we wanted to edit. Then we used the search function to find the text feature, and we put in our name. From there, we also used the search function to find the extrude feature, where we then extruded the name and created a 3D object on another 3D object. Don't forget, we used add as component. We wanted to create a component. We did not want to join. So you can either create an object or a component. They're both, I think they're similar or the same thing. I haven't messed around with those enough. I just know I use component, and component works for me. So that's where we're leaving off. And until next week, let's get back on over to mainstream. Perfect. So I saw your comment about the STL or OBJ, and you can use STL files. It's a really difficult process though to get it where you need it to be to do what you want to do with it, I guess. So essentially that file has to now be remeshed and reconverted back to an easier file for Fusion to kind of understand and to be able to process and edit things. And it gets really messy. The more complex the object is, the messier it gets. So I would try as hard as you can to steer clear of the STLs. Yeah, I would steer clear of that if possible. I'm not super knowledgeable in that. I've tried to mess around with it, and it is very confusing. I've tried to watch a couple other tutorials on it, and sometimes I can get it to work, and sometimes I can't. So I just try to steer clear and find step files. And for example, like if you, let's say you're on Colts 3D, and you really like someone's design that they've already created, and you just want to tweak it a little bit, you can always email them. I've emailed a couple people over there and been like, hey, you're only offering the STL file. Is there any way I could get the step file from you instead? And a lot of times they'll reach back out to you and they'll say, oh yeah, no problem. It'll just be $5 more or something like that. So that's one way of getting that step file. OBJs, I haven't tried the OBJ file, so I don't know. I'll have to look into that and get back to you on the OBJ. I just know that steps seem to be kind of the way to go if you can get there and get the step. So yep, step is where it's at. Yeah, and so I'm thinking for maybe the next part of the series, maybe we'll do instead of the text feature, we'll do a line feature. We'll do some lines and create maybe like a grip pad, like the yeah, like a pad. Anyways, we'll do the line feature next time and kind of go over that, and then we'll reinforce, like just touch back on that search function. Again, the search function, when I learned, hey, you can just hit the S key, the search window pops up, and then I can just type in what I'm looking for and it'll automatically give it to me. As soon as I learned that and started utilizing that, Fusion 360 just clicked on for me. Then I was like, cool, this makes it so much simpler. Like I don't have to click through these menus and then click the wrong thing. So that search key it makes life so much easier. Again, I don't really look at any of the buttons in there because I just know, like, hey, cool, if I ever need something, I hit S and then I type in what do I need. You know, it's like your little sidekick right there. So if I need to extrude, I type in extrude. If I need a text, I type in text. If I need a fillet, I type in fillet. And so we'll do that. And then maybe in 2 or 3, we'll touch on maybe importing SVGs and putting your own SVG logo. So if you have your own logo, or let's say you have a design and you can get it into an SVG format, we'll talk about how we can get that and put it kind of where my name was essentially. It's a little bit different, couple different buttons to click, but that's all it is really. It's a similar process. So that's what we'll kind of touch on. And let's see here. So we do have that giveaway tonight. Let me see if I can get it open. Where am I gonna have to reopen this thing? I think I am. Bear with me 1 second while I get the wheel up. The wheel does not want to come up right now, so we will do window. And where is it? Oh, it's probably because it's down. Give me 1 more second. It's coming up here. And 1 second. I just got to redo this. Here we go. And of course, popped it over everything, right? So this will be for the $50 gift card. For the $50 off the new Creality, the Ender 3 S1 Plus. They did release the code to me yesterday. I think if you buy it within the next day or 2 days, or if you're within one of the first 100 or 200 people, they're going to give you free filament with it or something free. And then if you're in like the second group of people that order it, they're going to give you something else for free. So yeah, so the 2 people that did enter over at the forum are Stuart and the Donald Hump. Let's spin this wheel and see who's going to get $50 off the new Creality printer. And if you do end up buying it, or when you buy it, let me know how it is. I'm very curious to know how that whole the whole Pro series itself works. You know, it looks like it's super easy to put together, and it's got a lot of cool features. So I am definitely curious. I was thinking about actually going back to Creality and trying that printer out, but now that the Bamboo came out, I think, you know, I think I have enough experience under my belt to if I encounter problems, be able to solve them and try something newer and riskier. So that's the printer I think I might try next, is the Bamboo X1 Carbon or whatever it's called. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's spin this wheel. Let's see who's going to win. Good luck to both of you. And who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Raymond, Raymond, Raymond. And whoo, that was a close one. Nice. All right. Nice win, Raymond. Nice win. So I think I have your email. I think I do because you're signed up. I think I can still send it to that email. Anyways, if you message me and let me know where you want me to send that code to. I can text it to you. I can email it to you, however you want it, but I'll get it to you tonight. So if you email me tonight. Yeah, nice win. Nice win. So let me know. Are you planning on buying the printer, or do you know someone that that might want that's kind of in the printer market? I'm just kind of curious what your plans are. Nice win though. That's awesome. Cool. $50 off. Let's see. Cool. So I think that is, what are we? We're at 6:47. Man, these shows just seem to fly by. Yeah, I think we're gonna kind of close it down now. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Nice. You plan on buying it? All right. Cool. Well, hey, I'm glad, you know, this, hopefully this helps. And again, let me know. I want to see some prints too. And actually, since you're tuning into these, I want to see some custom prints. That's going to be great. So, yeah, cool. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. And have a good weekend. Have a good Friday tomorrow. And I will see you on the tripod in the next one. Yeah, I do agree. I think you're going to love that printer too. I think it's going to be fantastic. And, you know, I don't think it's going to steer you wrong. That's a great printer. So let me know. Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. And let me know if you guys want to see anything else, or if you want to see any special features in Fusion 360. That way I can kind of fine tune this, you know, how you guys want to use it and what you're looking for, versus what I think you should know, you know, anything like that, because what I think you should know may not even be what you want to know. So let me know what you guys want. You guys want custom grips? Cool. You guys want Picatinny rails? We can do that. You want, you know, undercuts on the trigger guard? Let me know. We can do that. However you guys want to see this gun turn out, let's do it. So yeah, have a good night, Nick. Pat, Michelle, thank you guys very much. Raymond, thank you very much. Sprink, appreciate it. And again, I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you guys in the forums. Don't forget, again, we did just launch Discord, so I dropped that in the chat. Feel free to come on over and hang out. Let's chat it up and get some memes going. So cool, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.